to do. Okay. That good?
Much better. I think it looks so much better. Maybe move your computer a little. Much better. There we go. Perfect.
Okay. Hi, whoever's watching, if anyone's watching.
So what's going on with the world? So many news. I'm intrigued.
Yeah, I mean the biggest thing is this story about the British billionaire and the Pakistani, one of the wealthiest men in Pakistan, and his 19-year-old son, and the CEO of the diving company OceanGate, Stockton Rush, who's one of the whitest names I've ever heard, and he looks like it. They are all down there along with a 77-year-old former French Navyman who has led like 20 something expeditions down to the Titanic. And they have what, about 30 hours left of oxygen if they're still alive. They may have already been crushed up like an aluminum can, according to people who are knowledgeable. So, I mean, the whole thing is just the most terrifying set of circumstances you could possibly imagine.
I wonder, like, I wonder if they were rescued because it's so they're
No.
still there.
No, they did definitively not rescued and not even made contact. They have no idea what this thing is. This thing actually could be, this little submersible could actually be inside the Titanic. That's what they're saying.
Oh wow! And what happened? Did they had like any clue of like technical difficulties? What happened to so they are stuck there? So I wonder what happened.
Well, so here's how this thing works. It doesn't have a GPS system of its own because it is so far under the water. It relies on text messages to a ship. Basically, like a ship sails out to sea on top of the Titanic wreckage, like way above, up on the surface of the ocean, and then this submersible goes down, and it communicates through text messages.
What?
But like, if the signal is lost for some reason, then it has no idea where it's going, and they up on the ship don't know where it is. And apparently last year it got lost for like 5 hours. They had no idea where it was till it finally reconnected. This time they didn't even report it missing for 8 hours, and now it's been like 2 days, and they only had 96 hours worth of oxygen in there to survive. They're down to about 30 if they're still even alive.
And then they're not making any efforts to go up. Do they have do they send help or people to rescue them? Is there any way to get a bigger submarine to kind of like grab it and pull them up? Or because it's a billionaire, right? So that there's, you should have the resources. People have resources to get saved from from Everest. Yeah. So you would think that they can be rescued from this.
Well, that's the thing, is that there are maybe 2 vehicles on Earth that can locate this thing. And the Navy, our Navy, is going to try to pull it up if it can. But basically, it's so deep down on the ocean floor, and especially if it's past the continental shelf, there's really nothing they could do. I mean, the Coast Guard, everyone in a position of authority is saying, look, even if we find this thing and they're still alive, it's a slim chance we're going to be able to rescue them.
Wow.
Because it's just so deep down, and to pull it up, and it doesn't have really anything that can propel it up on its own. The thing is controlled with a glorified PlayStation joystick. It's like literally something like this controls the submersible. It's the scariest thing in the world. Let's take a look inside some of it. Okay, we're gonna watch a little bit of video on it.
But that sounds what do you think? It sounds so claustrophobic. I cannot imagine to be stuck under the ocean this deep for this long, and the fact that the submarine doesn't have a way of propulsion or like some inflatables that would like activate it and get you out of there, or some kind of system, or even chains. It's insane.
Well, the problem is it's not a submarine, it's actually a submersible. So like it doesn't have the power that a submarine has.
What a dumb idea, like to take a submersible without not a submarine to get to do this expedition. If you're going to be doing an expedition to see the Titanic, or what were they doing, like a tour? Is it this like a Disney pass? Like, what was the objective of this?
Yeah.
It was not really clear to me
Well,
on the news.
Okay, so basically what it is I'm trying to find the best view because we want to watch videos and we want people to be able to see them. How about this one? No, now we can't see ourselves. That's horrible. God damn it, man. Okay. Well, so what this is what this is a $250,000 per person expedition. You know, you got to be ultra wealthy to be able to comfortably go on this. Okay, don't take your house down payment and decide to go visit the Titanic. I don't think that this company is going to survive this. I mean,
No.
besides the fact that their CEO is currently trapped down there, I don't even know. This might be like the Concorde for deep sea tourism. You remember the Concorde? It was the airplane that could go really fast and get you from London to New York in like, a few hours, like very fast. And
I
then,
heard of it. Was it really a real thing?
oh yeah, it was real. And it was, it was expensive. And then like 20 years ago, it crashed, burst into flame. And that was pretty much the end of the Concorde. It was high speed travel.
Okay.
So to me, this is like,
This is
who's
big
going to get on
failure.
this? Yeah. James Cameron, director of Titanic, he's been down there a bunch of times. Is he going to go back now and take a risk that he won't get to finish Avatar 7?
I don't think so. Look, I think it's crazy. I cannot imagine. You would think that such an expensive expedition. You said $250,000 to go under the water and risk your life.
Yeah. Now the guy, I mean, look, for a billionaire, it's not that much.
I know, but $250,000, and the thing is, it seems like it's a project. It's not necessarily a finished product.
Right.
As far as I can tell, like the first thing I would ask is like, how can I be safe to come back? And then there's no safety. So
you got to see the waivers that people had to sign for this thing are all about how you can and will die, basically. Let me find one of them. This guy who was a writer on The Simpsons actually went on there last year. Let me pull that up before we play some of this video. And he talked about the waiver. Mentions death 3 times on the first page. Okay, so you got to be brave. I feel bad for everybody on there. I feel really bad for the rich son, the son of the wealthy Pakistani man who was only 19. He's going down there. Who knows if he even wanted to? Maybe his dad was like, "You have to come, or you're not my son." I don't want to
forced to go to this crazy adventure, and now he can't live his life. And
I mean, he could have wanted to. Maybe it was like a father-son bonding thing, but like still. Mike Reese, producer and writer on The Simpsons, traveled on the Titan in 2022. And he himself Mike Reese is not optimistic about the rescue of these people. By the way, just for the names of the victims, we got Hamish Harding, who's the British billionaire, 58, Shahzada Dawood, 48, and his son Suleiman Dawood, that's the wealthy Pakistani man, French Navy pilot Paul-Henri Nargeolet, and OceanGate CEO Stockton Rush, who we're going to see on video in a second. By the way, sounds just like Ben Shapiro, the conservative commentator. So Mr. Reese says, I just feel for these people. My hopes are with them. I am not optimistic. I know how tiny the vessel is and how huge the ocean is. Yeah, it's like a washing machine. It's like being in a washing machine. There's no seats. The toilet, I'll show you the toilet. It's like someone's briefcase. You know what I mean? Like, it's not comfortable. Oh, hold on. Let me open this up. Missing OceanGate CEO is sued for fraud by Florida couple who accused him of taking $210,000 to see Titanic wreck when he knew the vessel was not really what. There's just so much news coming out about this. Again, we still don't know what's happening. We don't know how they are.
Probably not happy, probably praying. And how about if they have like do you think like if you're stuck in something like this, they have like some kind of poison so you can quickly die? And like, for example, like let's say that you're stuck under the water and you're gonna run out of oxygen. What do you do? Do you take some kind of like, like they had for the Second World War, soldiers would carry poison.
Cyanide, yeah.
Yeah. So then if something happens, you kind of just,
No.
take your own life. Like they're gonna die in their own feces and suffocated underwater. It sounds like the worst. It sounds like one of the worst ways to die as well, like being burned. Like this sounds terrifying.
Yeah, I don't think they would. It's only supposed to be a trip that takes a couple hours or so, or like the dive takes a couple hours to get down, and then I assume you stay there for a while. It probably takes most of a day.
Where is the Titanic located right now?
It's off of Cape Cod.
Near where?
And then next year it's going to be moving to
where is
Cape Cod?
Titanic?
It's somewhere between
New York and Greenland.
Cape Cod. I saw on the map. It's like off of Cape Cod, kind of.
Where's Cape Cod? Sorry for the ignorance.
It's Massachusetts. We're gonna pull up a map. We're gonna find out exactly where that Titanic is.
And they're stuck there. I wonder, like, why did it take so long to governments to get those people out? Like, this is not like a terrorist attack. This is people stuck in a submarine. And if you have the resources, where are the Marines? Where are the coast patrol or whatever? Like, they don't have like people watching the coasts of this country?
I'll tell you where they are. They're worrying about their pronouns. No, I'm just kidding. No, they're being deployed. It's just such a massive area, and they're not getting any signal from this thing, and they're just searching to find it, and they're racing against time. They also don't know if it has surfaced.
They're
somewhere.
Searching them.
Oh yeah, they're searching. No, they've been.
They
searching.
don't know where they are. They disappear.
They have an idea of where it is. The last ping was supposedly from above the Titanic, which has people thinking, well, maybe it crashed into the Titanic and it's stuck in there. Most experts believe that it, let's not put that there because that's going to leave a watermark. Most experts believe that there may have been a leak, or like, the hull was compromised. And when that happens at that depth, the pressure is so great that you instantly get crushed.
Oh, so they're all dead and crushed like in each other.
Unfortunately, that's the likely outcome. But according to one of the guys who's actually on this thing, that's probably the best, because it happens so fast.
Are they? Like, how deep are? Look, can I ask?
It happens. Well, let me just finish this point. It happens so fast, according to Paul P.H. Narjolet, the French Navy man who's on the OceanGate, that you just don't even know what's happening. It happens so quick.
Okay. And my question is, like, how deep in the ocean are they? Like, for example, it's not feasible to try to exit the submarine. You're never going to make up. Like, how is it? They're like hours down the water. Like, because I never really came to like understand how deep in the water, how deep in the ocean the Titanic is. Like, now that hearing this, it's kind of terrifying.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's at least 15 feet. No, it's very deep. It's thousands of feet down. It's like 2.5 miles down, actually. That's how deep the Titanic is. Doesn't have enough propulsion. And get this, the way that the thing is built, even if you can get it to surface, you can't open the doors from inside. People on the outside have to let you out. So let's say they somehow surface, but they're just floating around on the shore and like they haven't been spotted yet. They can't even let themselves out. And the air, the oxygen will run out. So let's real quick just resume what this guy was saying. This is him inside, Mike Reese, the Simpsons writer. That's the tiny little window. He's looking at the Titanic. And he was in there last year. He said, I got on the sub, and at the back of my mind was, well, I may never get off this thing. That's always with you. He said that he had been on 3 separate dives, including the one to the Titanic, that had each lost communication. I'm telling you, this deep sea diving stuff is not safe. And by the way, the British billionaire Hamish Harding, he went on a Blue Origin last year up to space with the Bezos crew.
He's testing his luck.
Yeah, no, he's one of those adventurers. It seems like the space flight is way safer than the deep sea shit.
I mean, it's not safe because if you're like run out of space, no one can get you if you're out of like route. Like, because I keep seeing, like, I remember that movie Gravity, when you like get pulled, like something gets you out of the gravity area from Earth, you get pushed away from Earth and you keep going and going and go, and there's no rescue. You know they're eventually gonna out of like oxygen and you're gonna die. So it seems like a similar situation.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, just wait.
Sounds terrifying.
Just wait for the Apple Vision Pro to come out with their Titanic expedition
and
app,
you take a
and then you
virtual
just
dive.
get in. Yeah,
I'm sure it's already available. I'm sure they already have the footage. Or
I guarantee you, it's not that different from actually being down there.
Exactly.
Just get in the bathtub and put your headset on.
Yes. Oh my God. Okay. So do you have a video of him talking about his experience?
Yeah, I just want to hear. Well, we don't have a video of this guy talking about it, but I do have some quotes. So I'm going to read
it's a
him.
rich people thing to do.
It's
go
a
to
rich
Titanic.
people. Yeah, you go down to the Titanic.
You play golf.
Here
you get a glass of Dom Perignon, and you go in the ocean and almost die and poop in a bucket.
I hope they had some champagne down there, but honestly, I read that you pretty much get like a bottle of water and a sandwich to bring, and that's it. Okay, so he says that
as the richest person in the underground, would you think like the richest person in there? If I was the richest person, I'll be like, kill him and fate to me.
Well, you know, I was wondering, is this guy, when he got down there, and the Pakistani guy, are they both like yelling at the CEO? Because, you know, billionaires are used to ordering people around and having things go their way, even if it's not actually possible. They like insist that you do it their way. Were they like immediately like, what's going on here, Stockton? We didn't pay for this experience. You need to get us over to the Titanic now, okay? No.
And he's like, I cannot, sir, please. How about if somebody already killed another person out of rage?
Could have. Maybe he killed one of the people. Of course, that's all assuming they didn't just, as I said, get crushed. But I want to say one thing.
Go ahead.
A lot of people on Twitter, especially communist Twitter, and, you know, everyone hates billionaires and rich people on Twitter. They all, no, there's like, I'm talking about like the segment of people that support communism on Twitter.
I never heard of that.
Oh, yeah. They're all over there trying to convince everybody that every socialist, you know, they're trying to claim like, oh, North Korea is actually not as bad as they say. No. There's a whole thing about, oh, this is good. You know, we should get more billionaires to go into these little submersibles and die. Like, come on. No one should have to be subjected to this horrifying situation. You're not a billionaire when you're down there cut off from everything and stuck in a submersible. Okay, you're just a human being.
You're a human being. I think, like, you know, I dehumanizing people in privileged situations. It's not the way that humanity should be heading. And yeah, I think they're just people that deserve to live their lives, and they're stuck in a very unfortunate situation. Yeah. It's like if you go to vacation and something goes wrong, and how many times there's like those boats, like boats that disappear, or there's like, I think I saw in Brazil people visiting the waterfalls, and literally the mountain decides to erode, like it completely falls, and people died, or volcanoes people, too, and the one in Brazil, and the volcano, and you know, in thing about time, but also like you're putting yourself at risk. You know, if you're visiting a volcano, there's always a risk that the volcano could be reactivated. You know, they're like, it's inactive, but you know, you don't know. You never know.
The Titanic turned back on and started sailing right at you.
Oh, God. You Imagine you think some people that are believing ghosts, they think like the ghosts pull them down. And
Yeah. All right,
it's
let's
gonna be like one episode of the Medium, Hollywood Medium. He's gonna be like, I can feel it.
I know, what's that guy's name again? The Hollywood Medium.
I forgot.
We're taking an expedition down to the bottom of the ocean and we're gonna find those dead billionaires. I can hear them.
They start.
I can hear them
scratching and
knocking on the
drawing.
outside of our submersible.
Yeah, and he's like scratching, like his book is like, it's. I feel like a woman here, and then it's a man
Yeah.
there, and they're talking to me. They want you to know that they are in peace.
There's a man screaming. Was there a man screaming?
Was it a man trying to kill the other man? Oh my God, I see a fight in the back of my head.
I don't know what happened to the lights and the power. Oh no.
What was it? Tyler from the Hollywood Medium. I think we should put him there and send him and see if the evil souls of
Hey,
Titanic
that's
pull them
true.
down.
Coast Guard. If the Coast Guard is listening,
You
please.
think it's the Irish immigrants
the
that just like the Irish immigrants like, let's kill those knockers.
Is that an Irish slur? What was that word?
I don't know.
Knockers?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Thank God. Tyler Henry. Let's get the Hollywood Medium Tyler Henry down there immediately. If you're the Coast Guard, he can at least communicate with their souls.
Or the dolphins.
Tyler, can you hear me? I've been down here for 111 years. Aye. Okay, let's watch some video of the sub. Okay, this is from a news report from last year. This CBS reporter Josh Pogue went down there. He didn't end up taking the trip down, but he did observe it from the ship that
above
drops the submersible in. Okay,
let's
watch a little bit of this.
Purpose.
I'm getting chills. Like
Thinking. An experimental submersible vessel that has not been approved or certified by any regulatory body and could result in physical injury, disability, emotional trauma, or death. Where do I sign?
Oh, take your shoes off. That's customary.
Okay. Wow.
Inside, the sub has about as much room as a minivan.
So this is not your grandfather's submersible. We only have one button. That's it. It should be like an elevator. It shouldn't take a lot of skill.
The Titan is the only.
By the way, how much does he sound like Ben Shapiro?
Oh, I didn't really notice
Listen to
that. Let's hear
Listen to
again.
that.
So this is not your grandfather's submersible.
Oh my
We only have
God.
one button. That's it. It should be like an elevator. It shouldn't take a lot of skill.
The Titan is the only 5-person.
It's Ben Shapiro.
Shouldn't take a lot of skill. Those unskilled workers who want all their student loans paid off, they can come work down here.
It sounds just like Ben Shapiro. You're absolutely right.
Sub in the world that can reach Titanic depths, 2.4 miles below the sea. It's also the only one with a toilet, sort of. And yet, I couldn't help noticing how many pieces of
Look at
this.
that.
So
That was
you
like
pee?
that's like a crock pot.
That looks like a milk
I
a
couldn't
bottle.
help
You pee in a
noticing
milk
how
bottle?
many pieces of this sub. It's
Yeah.
also the only one with.
Look at that. You're
Oh my
supposed to you're
God.
supposed to cook and use it as a toilet.
You drink your milk and then you put the milk out of you.
$250,000. I can't believe they couldn't have a Michelin starred restaurant in this submersible, but
Wow.
Just don't
All
get
that
enough-
for that. You don't get the caviar. You don't get anything nice. You
don't
don't
get
get
enough bang
you
for
don't
your
even
buck.
get a sandwich or an in and out.
Yeah. Damn it. Let me what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so that's the toilet, and they do have like a little
Play.
thin I don't know, shower curtain or
So
something.
let's take a look. Let's take a look. Let's take a look.
The toilet, sort of. And yet, I couldn't help noticing how many pieces of this sub seemed improvised.
We can use these off-the-shelf components.
I got these from Camper World. We run the whole thing with this game controller.
Wow. Oh my God. Oh my God. It looks like a college project. They probably have like duct tape everywhere.
Yeah. No, they do.
It's crazy.
They're
like,
using
what
all
is-
kind of stuff that's like not like
they
he like got it at Home
overcharging?
Depot. or
They
something.
should charge $100 per ride there. Like it's like Disneyland is safer than that, I'm gonna believe. And this is insane. The amount of money that they're charging for that. It looks like a college project. It looks like, you know what I mean? Something you see out of a college, and it's some student tried to discover the lake. They have like little post-its around. Like, what the heck? How would you pay that much money for that kind of infrastructure?
Well, here's what we're going to talk about in a second.
Are those people dumb? Like, what is this?
I think they're just so hard up for an adventure that they're willing to take the risk. Actually, there weren't even there weren't even supposed to be. Yeah, I have my own submersible controller right here.
Yeah, we're operating a submarine here by the Malibu. Let's go. We'll explore.
Before you get
ocean.
mad at us, yes, we've turned it on and we've been trying to connect with the sub. Okay, it's just we haven't gotten the signal yet. We're going to talk about how they fired a guy a few years ago working for the company who raised concerns about the safety. They fired him.
Okay.
And we're going to show you a video where the guy's like, no, I haven't made any money yet.
Oh
you know,
my God, they fired a guy talking about security. That's insane.
Look, I don't want to denigrate this guy, Stockton Rush, the CEO of OceanGate. He's trying to, the wealthy, they like an experience. They like an adventure. But you would think that a billionaire would have his people do a thorough safety check of this thing. And by the way, again,
he's cutting corners, sounds like
I keep saying by the way, but by the way, there weren't even supposed to be any expeditions down to the Titanic this year because the weather has been so bad off of Newfoundland, which is where they launched from. And yet they had one day it opened up. And so they went.
Why is the weather affecting under the water? Isn't like water
it's probably
under,
wavy, sloshing around. Yeah.
I would not know that. Okay, but that's insane. Like I cannot believe the price. I think he's overcharging the billionaires or the rich people, and he's giving a really bad infrastructure.
I gotta be honest.
This is really bad. Like, this is really bad.
I think he was undercharging them. I think $250,000 is too low. It should have been like $2 million, because then he might have had more money to not have to cut corners.
Well, if he's a billionaire himself, he doesn't have to cut corners.
The CEO isn't the billionaire.
Who is the CEO?
Fucking frozen again?
No. Yes, we are.
This is the worst internet in the world. Okay. All right, hold on. God, I feel like we're down at the bottom of the ocean floor with how bad our signal is. Okay.
It seems like.
Okay, so that's that whole video. Now I'm going to pull one up where he talks more to him about the money.
Give them the money. But I like
money, Lebowski.
I don't know. I think they should. I don't know. Infrastructure, hire people. You have the, this sounds like something that they had for years. It should be improving, and firing the person that's raising awareness for security. It's the dumbest thing you can do. What a bad business model. And you're stuck there now in your project. So good luck with that.
Yeah. All right, 1 second. But again, you got to feel, even though he's a rich businessman and everyone's like, well, serves him right, he should have put that $250,000 towards charity, or like, think of all the people he could have fed with that money. I bet you Hamish Harding has donated plenty of money to charity. It's in a billionaire's financial interest to donate to charity.
So they can not pay taxes.
Yeah, exactly. But it still helps people, right? Usually.
We don't know those red carpets.
Yeah. It's just, if they are still alive, which again, hypothermia also, maybe a heart attack. I don't know. Like, anything could happen. But
pressure, right? Like
hypothermia would be, well, if it wasn't the pressure that just crushed them immediately, it could be hypothermia because it's very cold down there and there's no heating system and all they got is the oxygen. And or I mean, like, there is probably a heating system, but they need to turn it off so that they can keep the oxygen.
So what happens to the bodies? People just become like sardines there. Like, our bodies get to explode. Like, what happens?
A graphic description I read was that you just basically turn to mist instantaneously.
Blood mist.
Is there any other kind? Yeah, no, it's horrific. On the other hand, Nargelet, the French guy, said, I pulled out a quote from him because it was morbidly comforting. He said in 2019, he spoke frankly about the risks of leading missions to the site. He said, if you are 11 miles down or 11 kilometers down, if something bad happens, the result is the same. When you're in very deep water, you're dead before you realize that something is happening. So it's just not a problem. So in French, that's what he said.
Okay. Wow, your French is great.
Grazie.
It's merci beaucoup.
Merci
Grazie, it's
beaucoup.
Italian.
Hey, merci beaucoup.
Merci.
Oh.
No, but let's be serious.
Hey,
Like
Mitzi Shore. Oh.
I think this is like really devastating for the families, devastating for their friends, and and it's like, oh, there it is, the location geographically where the Titanic is. I think you
Yeah.
just show it. Oh, okay.
So it's in the North Atlantic Ocean. It's halfway
between here and
between
England.
here and
Wow.
a little more than halfway.
Portugal, yeah.
So I'm trying to find the video.
So it's near the Portugal waters.
No,
then.
no, that's not Portugal. That's New York. It's Ireland. It's New York.
No, these islands belong to Portugal. Azores.
Oh,
Where
yeah, there's Portugal.
It's where the Vikings were too.
Yeah, technically it
Azores.
is on the same latitude.
That's insane. Oh my God.
There's supposed to be the interview with the guy here. Well, anyways, in the interview, he's like, no, I don't make much money off of it yet. Let me find more video to watch.
How is it legal that he can do this?
Well, you sign a waiver.
No, but like, how is it legal that you can just have an expedition at such dangerous situation, you're putting people in dangerous situations, and you run an expedition,
You sign a waiver. That's it.
and he has an Xbox, a PlayStation controller.
Now, look, I'm sure there's going to be a massive lawsuit. It'll probably put this entire company out of business, if not the whole industry, because of all of the corner cutting and the safety issues that were raised. I mean, the fact that they fired a guy a few years ago who raised safety issues does not bode well for their chances in court, I would think. Let's watch this other video of Stockton Rush, which, again, one of the whitest names I've ever heard. The guy certainly lives up to it. No disrespect to him, but, Stockton.
The CEO and founder of OceanGate. Let's take a look at Titan.
Oh my God, man.
So we're coming into the sub. This is the only toilet available on a deep diving submersible. Best seat in the house. You can look out the viewport. We put a privacy screen in, turn up the music, and it's very popular. We have our control screen here, our sonar screen here, and we can put any image we want in the back. We've taken a completely new approach to the sub design, and it's all run with this game controller and these touch screens. So if you want to go forward, you press forward. If you want to go back, you go back, turn left, turn right, go down, go up. And it's Bluetooth, so I can hand it to anybody. And it's meant for a 16-year-old to throw it around, and super durable. We keep a couple of spares on board just in case. This is the second year we've been out to the Titanic. We went out in 5 8-day missions. We did about 10 dives to the wreck site of the Titanic, and we did an extra dive on an undiscovered reef that we found. Completely privately funded operation, and we're funded by, we call mission specialists, who help support the mission. So they take quite a bit of money to come and join us. Years ago, the Russians took tourists out to the Titanic, and it was just sort of a look and see thing. We really are focusing on the science around it. We want to document what.
I can't believe that he's like, here, this is like the chamber, and this is like this milk box is where we eat and poop, and then there is this like area with like laptops and displays on the floor that that looks absolutely ridiculous. It looks like the basement of a dog, like a place where like where you shower your dog or something. Like it looks like the vet or the vet. I don't know. It looks like where
You know what? honestly, from the outside, it looks like one of the nuclear bomb, the atom bombs.
Yeah, it looks like a bomb, or for the inside looks like a dog cell from like the vet or something. And he's stuck there. There's like displays on the floor. He's sitting there, has no idea what he's talking about. It sounds like a completely amateur. He has an Xbox / PlayStation controller. And he's like, oh, I press down, I go down, I press up, I go up. And I'm like, your technology is not there for you to be taking people down there. Like, it's pretty obvious that this is very badly run. And it's not like he's just on the surface. Like you said, you have to have some people to get, you have to get in the surface and get people from the outside open for you specifically. And I don't know, this doesn't sound...
Yeah,
This sounds like a project. Like, what the heck is he doing, putting people at risk like that? And I don't have words to explain. It looks ridiculous. I would never go there. I would never go. I don't not trust this guy, even though you said he has the widest name in the world. I don't trust him. He doesn't look like a tech person or engineer, and it looks like a project.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I can't. I'm mad. Like, I'm looking that if I was the wife of any of the people there, I'll be so mad. I'll be like, are you guys insane?
Definitely. I mean, the mother of the 19-year-old, I'm sure, the son, although, you talk about, I'm sure the family is devastated. And oh wow.
What?
Wait a second. Look at this. Here we are live with some happy breaking news.
Breaking news, guys. What happened?
Likely signs of life have been detected. This is on the Daily Mail, okay? But you know what? They're on top of this stuff. Likely sign: rescue plane hunting missing Titanic submarine with 5 on board hears banging coming every 30 minutes from near wreck site. Raising hopes men are alive as search enters make or break day. This is crazy. Okay, so they got to get this thing up as quickly as possible and open it up. I don't know what the kind of UFO. It might be time for the Navy to start releasing some of that UFO technology that we've been reverse engineering.
Yeah.
And utilize that, because there are theories that the UFOs are actually coming from under the sea.
Under the sea.
So if they can start deploying some of that, just don't film it. All right. We won't tell anybody, but use some of that UFO reverse engineer technology that David Grush is talking about and lift this thing up.
Get off the ground.
Lift its spirits. Okay. Let's read more about this. A Canadian aircraft picked up the sound. The Explorers Club also posted that there have been likely signs of life detected. Rescue crews are trying to locate the sub that went missing on Sunday on its way. Of course, we know that. The banging was noted in emails exchanged with the U.S. Department of Homeland Security and seen by Rolling Stone. Richard Garriott de Caillou, president of the Explorers Club, confirmed in a Tuesday night social media post that there is cause for hope. Okay, so might not be all of them, might be some of them, who knows, but like
one of them is alive and it's banging something.
It's even scarier to think of.
Yeah.
That they're alive down there, knowing the oxygen's running out,
no
banging,
food.
Knowing you're 2.5 miles underneath the ocean. You have no idea. I mean, they got to be assuming that people are searching for them. But still, you haven't seen any signs yet that know that people are searching for you.
I mean, they know, like, especially if you're a billionaire and you're gone, people are going to be searching for you, obviously. Or even like anyone, right? They're like, hey, I went to see the Titanic. Post an Instagram story, be like, I'm about to see the Titanic. Bye, guys. See you when I come back to the surface. Never here again. I'm sure people send things and videos to their family.
It says that it's unclear when the banging sounds were heard, and officials have not confirmed the reports or said they have found the crew.
What if it's a pipe inside of the thing as a post-match, like some kind of computer or a pressure or something banging internally of the submarine that is holding this? By the way, is submarine that dangerous? If this was a real submarine, would it be this dangerous?
Listen, I'm not getting back on that Disneyland submarine after this.
Oh my, I was actually thinking about that too. I was just like, that I felt kind of scary. We
Yeah.
could just go upstairs
Think how bad that was, sitting in the Disneyland submarine.
and stuck there forever.
Now you're sitting there also with like in tighter quarters.
You know, let me tell you an experience that I have. So I was recommended by the doctor to go to a high pressure chamber
Yeah.
in to kind of help me recover faster in those chambers that have oxygen. I'm not talking about the ones that is actually a singular one cabin that you're alone that see through it. It's pretty good. I'm talking about
Real quick. I
real
just wanna
life.
Make sure. Can we hear it ourselves? Unmute.
yeah.
Okay, good. Sorry, everybody. Technical difficulty.
So I was like, it wasn't those thing, and it's like, so it is actually a replica of a kind of like a no gravity submarine, and you have to like breathe oxygen through the mask, and you're supposed to recover, and then you're with a bunch of other people. I lasted 3 seconds.
Mm.
I exited to their little safety area, and I had to wait for the whole session before I was able to leave, and it was awful. And I couldn't stand the claustrophobia that I felt. I had like I remember I told you I had like a panic attack. I could not do this kind of thing, and for me, it's really hard to be in the small environments and knowing the danger. And even like the high pressure thing that you had to breathe oxygen while they reduce the pressure around you, had to wear a mask. What if my body doesn't react well with low pressure? What if what if my mask is not working? It's not giving me enough oxygen to my brain while I'm breathing. I'm always scared about the risks. And by the way, not having oxygen for long periods of time or reduced oxygen affects your cognizant ability forever. It could really change your cognizant ability. You can see that for people that almost like go to car accidents, or people that go through very, very like hard accidents, or almost drown. They come back with serious damage. So I couldn't do even the thing that the doctor recommended, like, oh, go to this submarine pressure thing where you go and breathe air. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. So I cried. I couldn't do it, and I left. I'm thinking about this constantly. I'm just like,
well,
this is just like it. Okay, let's go for it.
Let's keep reading about it. It says that okay, so here's what the Coast Guard and the Air Force and Navy are doing. There's a joint rescue coordination center. A massive search operation remains underway. Rear Admiral John Mager, who is helping coordinate the search, said it could be stuck. We don't have equipment on site that can do a survey of the bottom. There's a lot of debris, so locating it will be difficult. Right now, we're focused on trying to locate it. And it's like, God damn, you need to locate it quickly. I know they're working hard. They're doing their best. But with the oxygen thing, you know, what the hell are you going to do? It's utterly dark down there. And you've also got a lot of mud and other stuff getting swept up. You can only see about 20 feet in front of you with searchlights. There are very strong ocean currents which are pushing you along.
How they usually resurface with this? Is anything that internally they can enable to be able to go up?
If it's they have like some kind of propeller, but if it's stuck, then or you know, broken down in some way, then it's not going to be able to. Here's what it says: if the mini sub has lost power with no working propellers, lights, or heating, its 5 passengers will be in total darkness in temperatures of around 37 degrees Fahrenheit as the doomed craft
it's like a fridge
rolls along the seabed. Yeah.
What is 37 degrees Fahrenheit?
That's pretty cold. It's pretty cold. It's like, I don't know, a winter day, a brisk winter's day.
You cannot like start up a fire because it's going to use all the oxygen that they have left.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Starting a fire.
Oh
in there
my
definitely
God.
can do that.
But
That's good news. Speaking of family, you know, you're talking about how concerned they must be. They certainly are. Although the stepson of the British billionaire went to the Blink-182 concert in the middle of all this.
What?
Yeah. He said, Hold on, let me pull it up.
How? But he
He
looks.
says, Hamish, my stepdad is lost in a submarine. Thoughts and prayers that the rescue mission will be successful. Okay, so that was on the 20th. Is today the 20th?
Yeah.
Okay, that was this morning. And then later it said, it might be distasteful being here, but my family would want me to be at the Blink 182 show as it's my favorite band and music helps me in difficult times. All right, so
what is his zodiac sign?
I have no idea.
I'm so curious. What is? You gotta find his zodiac sign.
I don't know what this says about their relationship. I don't want
says
to
what kind of person
speculate,
he is.
but
What is his zodiac sign? You gotta find it.
and by the way, I don't disagree. Like, it probably is a good thing for him to be at the Blink 182 concert. What else is he going to do? Just sit there worrying? However, maybe don't post about that part. Like, you don't have to post.
I know I
at the
shouldn't be
Blink
here.
182
Woo!
no, like, it's not like anyone's going to recognize you and be like, hey, you're Hamish Finkel or whatever his last name. Brian Satz. What are you doing here? Your dad is at the bottom of the ocean. No. You could have just gone to the show and seen it and been perfectly fine. But sharing it, I'm sorry, it kind of opens you up to, if not criticism, a little bit of ridicule at least.
I think that's crazy. I think that this is, I just distasteful for him to be going to. He's correct. It's distasteful for him to do that. It's your stepfather, and I don't know, like, distracting. It's something that you do after the person died. Then you try to like keep your mind busy. Well, he's still in the process of being rescued or dying. Maybe you just stay home and give your mother support.
I wonder what the band thinks. They're like, oh, what the fuck? Who are our fans? So it's good. I'm glad that we at least got some kind of good news. Before we move off of this subject, I do want to talk about the and that's Stockton Rush, the CEO right there. That's the French Naval Commander P.H. Narjolet. This is Hamish, the British billionaire. There's the Pakistani guy Shahzada Dawood and his son, his 19-year-old son. So terrible stuff. And just briefly, I want to talk about how they
what if the Russians try to attack them?
At this point, they'd be lucky if the Russians showed interest and came down there and tried to attack them.
And there's no American submarines that can grab them.
No, I'm sure the Navy is deploying something. Then it's always the question of like, hey,
can you get a submarine hook and pull it up? Like,
it's so far deep down that I think what we know of, like the technology that we know of,
doesn't survive.
It'd be very hard to do. And the Navy has got to be thinking, well, how much of our capabilities do we want to expose just to pull this thing up?
It makes me impressed about the technology from in the time of the Second World War. If you think that, like, in current times, we see that we're having difficulties to be under the ocean, to be in a submarine kind of, a capsule and try to see the Titanic. Imagine during the Second World War, when technology was not that great, and there was a lot of submarines from America and Russia and Cuba, and there's Japan. They started doing the submarine, Germany, submarine technology. So think about doing that in the 1940s, and then now we are here, 2023, and with billionaire budgets. And you still cannot make this safe. So it's insane.
Privately fun. I just want to send a shout out and a thank you to Sea Monkey. Great to see you as well. Thank you for joining the show, especially with your name. It's very apt. I'm sure
the conversation.
Your experience as a sea monkey is very valuable today. In particular, actually,
go rescue them.
The first submarine, if I'm correct, was built around the time of the American Civil War. So we're talking in the 1860s.
I thought it was like in the 40s, because I thought like it was the
well, that's when like the submarine warfare. You know what? No.
I think it's in the 40s.
The Lusitania was sunk in World War I, right?
I don't know. I don't know much about that, but I know during the Second World War is when we see a lot of research into submarine technology, spy technology from different areas, so that they can capture signals from their enemies.
No.
So I don't know exactly, but I know, like, I'm just kind of thinking like about, imagine time travel. Imagine being in the 1940s in the middle of a Second World War and you're inside a submarine. And the technology that we have now is not that much better. It's crazy.
Well, no, it's better. It's just a stupid, reckless way of doing it. And that's what we're going to find out, is that they didn't, it's not safe. It was not ever, according to, where is that? This experimental vessel, and this is in the waiver that you signed. This experimental vessel has not been approved by any regulatory body. It could result in physical injury, emotional trauma, or death. Okay, so they don't have people looking at it to make sure it's it's like, you know, safe for use. They're just kind of doing it because people will pay for it. Now let's talk about the lawsuit. The tourist submersible that went missing was previously the target of safety complaints from an employee of OceanGate, the parent company that owns the sub and runs tourist expeditions of the wreck. The employee complained specifically that the sub was not capable of descending to such extreme depths before he was fired.
Who
That's
is
right.
he? Can we have an interview with him?
No, but this was in 2018. His name was David Lockridge. He was a submersible pilot, and he voiced safety concerns about the sub.
So about the levels that the submarine can go down. So
Can't go down that deep.
He's saying let's stick this thing above a certain feet. Let's not go to the deeps of the sea, but like maybe like have a spatial view from the Titanic from the above. That would be safer.
Well, I don't know that
Then
he
go
was saying that,
how
but
close they get from the Titanic.
they get
from
right
this.
down to it. They get like as close as
Inside.
they can. Well, they don't go inside because that's unsafe, but they get right down to it. And he was saying like it's not supposed to go that deep, and the system was so stupid. Not only was it kind of put together with a bunch of different parts like we saw in those videos with Stockton Rush, it, you know, like cheap parts, construction
Display
pipes
like
and stuff like that
Lenovo
used as
displays
ballast.
and Xbox controllers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks cheap. Yeah,
But the
definitely.
system of we rely on text messages to communicate with the surface to direct us where to go. And there's like barely a signal to begin with. Supposedly, I haven't really seen this confirmed, but supposedly they were using Starlink, Elon Musk's company. I don't think you can blame this on Starlink. There's just no signal out there. But the signal, Starlink was giving a signal to the ship that was on the surface.
Mm-hmm.
And then they would text the thing, and then the guy would take his video game controller and kind of move it around, and you kind of bumble around. Mike Reese, the Simpsons guy, I didn't get to read it on air, but he was saying about how like for 90 minutes, even when they got down there, they had to kind of bumble around on the ocean floor just to find their way over to the Titanic.
What do you mean ocean floor? Is that close to the floor in the ocean?
I think they go right down to the floor.
But the floor, there's no floor. It's like there's corals there. It's not safe
No, it's
in
sand.
rocks.
It's sand and mud, and
I thought it's rocks and corals, and it's not really a flat surface
no, they
like
don't-
at the bottom of a pool.
they don't. I don't know if they like go to. They're not like on the floor and then they put some wheels out and they just go no, but they're down right at the bottom. Okay, so Lockridge was fired. He said, rather than addressing Lockridge's concerns, OceanGate instead summarily terminated Lockridge's employment in efforts to silence him and to avoid addressing the safety and quality control issues. That's what Lockridge said in his counterclaim. So people were aware. And we just saw this other story about a couple. My computer will stop freezing. Jesus, man. Is this even looking good? Okay.
Yeah, we're looking good.
And by the way, Mr. LOL says that fake their own death. I've seen this conspiracy, this theory put out there, you know, that like this would be a great way if some people had to fake their own death to do it. You just go down there, you disappear, you get, you get out of there somehow, and you swim up to the surface, get taken away, and you start
But
a new
all of
life.
them, all the 5 of them, it's
Yeah.
5 people, right? 5?
5 people.
I don't think 5 people would like to fake their own death. By the way, this doesn't remind you that show. What's the name of that chef show, that the movie that we watched where the billionaires all get killed? Yes, Chef, right?
Yeah, I don't remember the name of it. but
Open
I don't
Table?
That's spoiler alert. I don't want to talk about.
No,
that.
I'm just saying, like, there is it's an experience that billionaires pay to
Yeah.
eat from this very fancy chef, and things don't
No,
end
no,
their
no,
way.
okay, let's drop the movie.
So let's be careful with
Look,
those expensive experiences that you wanted to be unforgettable.
It's possible. I say it's not probable. People just don't really fake their death like that. And especially in such a public way, I would, because like a expedition down to the Titanic, look how much attention we're all paying to it. I feel like there would be much easier ways to fake your death. Even just going on like a scuba expedition and just disappearing, that wouldn't really make headlines. This, you got the Navy searching for you. Like, imagine they find you and you have like a fake mustache on because you were about to start your new life. You'd be in big trouble.
No, but it's an interesting thing. Do you think that someone might sabotage their? I don't think so. I was thinking about sabotage just like out of my mind because movies. But if you really see the conditions that thing was built, you would think that it's like duct tape and it's like the back of a Home Depot type of things. Like someone built this out of like.
What's that?
Nothing.
That great quote? Something like, "Don't attribute to malice things that can be explained by incompetence." Something like that.
I don't know, something like that, but definitely incompetence. The whole infrastructure is. If I had a tour of that, and like, okay, now give me $250,000, I'll be like, no way. For this, is there recliners there and oxygen and limited supplies if something happens? No, there's nothing. There's just this guy here in this thing.
So this says, I asked for a refund. They were cutting too many corners. Friend of Hamish Harding says he pulled out of joining the billionaire on missing OceanGate sub Titan due to safety concerns. Okay.
Voice of reason.
So this guy, Hamish should have listened to this guy.
Ooh, listen to your friends.
Chris Brown had paid the deposit.
I mean,
not that Chris Brown.
He's 61 years old, not
to go on the doomed voyage, but says he changed his mind after becoming concerned by the quality of technology and materials used in the vessel. Among his concerns were OceanGate's use of old scaffolding poles, like when buildings under construction and they just have scaffolding up there. That's on this sub for the ballast, and the fact that its controls were based on computer game style controllers, which, to be fair, I believe our Navy uses a modified Xbox controller to pilot some of their submarines. I swear.
I don't know about that. I don't know much about the automation and in the Marines. So I know they used to operate drones and a kind of like a bomb detector kind of robot that they use in Middle East. They use controllers like that, but I don't think they would do for operating larger machinery like that. I don't know if it's safe or approved. No. It's hard to know. I will maybe the Netflix should or HBO or Max, whatever, should release a documentary more about how far we are in technology for our Navy. And
by the way, just real quick, how much does Jennifer Lawrence's dad look like? He's from like the 1950s. You see that?
No, I think she just looks like an older man.
He looks very old fashioned. Here's Chris Brown with Richard Branson. Mr. Brown and Mr. Harding signed up for the voyage after sharing a few beers while holidaying on Sir Richard Branson's Necker Island. They paid the deposit, which has since more than doubled in price. But Mr. Brown alleged that in the years that followed, he learned OceanGate had missed key targets when depth testing the submersible. He found it concerning with the controller and it sounds like they just kind of rushed this thing through. They stocked and rushed this thing through and tried to make the investment back. I don't know. Maybe he was just like, look, it's good enough, but it really does not sound like it was safe at all. It's amazing anyone went down there and was able to come back up
Alive.
Logitech gaming controller lights from RV World. It's wild. Yeah, like seriously. Seeing that, you wouldn't get on again. You wouldn't get on the Disneyland ride.
I
if
don't
you knew
want.
that
I'm
it had
never
old
gonna be that ride
scaffolding
again.
poles. Yeah.
No, that's scary. That's very scary. That's a very bad infrastructure. And you know better. I mean, I would know better. I work in tech, so I know that this is not a safe place to be.
You knew what you were
I
doing.
know.
Well,
It look. I mean, come on. It's like if you take a virtual tour of your submarine, do you really? Would you go anyways? Would you, or would you be like, this looks a little kind of like flimsy. It looks flimsy.
no, I would not. I mean, I wouldn't do it anyway, but especially if that was the case, I would not do it. 1% chance of survival they're giving these guys. So it's tough. It's rough.
It's quick.
Well, it may not be quick if they're still down there. I just want to check real before we go to a break. I want to check any updates on Twitter.
Great update.
Just to see if anyone has come up with. No, it doesn't seem like there's
Where's
much.
that guy?
I mean, the story that we saw in Daily Mail. This guy says the people on that missing Titanic submarine when they wake up tomorrow.
Oh my god.
It's terrible. It's really not even that funny.
That's not funny.
It's very scary stuff. And whether they're a billionaire or whether anyone, like forget that. It's not, you're not like dunking on the wealthy or the economic or capitalism. You're not scoring a win for capitalism because two rich guys may have died in a submersible. All right. It's just when you're down there, there is no money.
Oh, look at that, like
Okay.
that footage on TV. As we're talking here, looking at the news, we're watching a little bit of CNN live, and there's images of how this thing is deployed and images, and people are talking about it. They still look like they're still searching for them and to kind of figure out if they still receive signals.
It's the same story as what we just covered about the banging sounds. They heard a lot of banging.
Why are you saying
There's a lot of banging going on down there. They heard it from the sub, so they decided to leave him alone. They said, "Oh shit, we'll come back."
Oh my god! Oh god, Dante.
All right. Well, listen, we're gonna take a break and we're gonna try to come back. I'm gonna try to get this internet stuff fixed so we can talk about Meghan and Harry. If you saw the
Spotify deals spoofed.
Yeah, how jealous those two are that this thing is taking all the headlines. They're figuring out a way to get onto that sub right now.
And they're in their world tour for privacy right now.
We just wanted to show. I'm surprised.
We want privacy.
Yeah. Harry and Meghan probably have rented a yacht and they're going out there to give a speech on the water.
And you're gonna tell how they were chased by paparazzis into the ocean.
Please, we were just taking our private yacht to the spot where the Titanic submersible went down and the paparazzi chased us. Please leave us alone.
Those New York paparazzi swim down to the ocean.
Yeah. We just wanted to go to the spot where they disappeared and speak and then win an award for showing up at the spot where the OceanGate Titan disappeared. I hope you can understand.
Are we hopping right in?
No. We got to take a break because this internet's killing me.
It's tearing him apart. Lisa.
We would like to get into the sub if it's possible. Hello, OceanGate.
Guys,
how much would it cost? We'll double it.
I just want to say that when I graduated in international relations and decided to become a humanitarian, I never thought for once that I would marry a prince. And he promised me that he would get me the heart from the ocean, like the Titanic. So we started an expedition with the Dior contract.
When our yacht got to the site where the Titan was last seen, the captain of the ship came up to me and he got down on his knees and he said, "Thank you for your sacrifice, for coming all the way out here from Montecito to observe the rescue operations." And I felt seen for once. Yes, of course.
I know that, I think it's so interesting thing about Meghan is that she has a very, she has a narcissistic personality. And people said that that's kind of inherent, like you get from your parents. So maybe a lot of the things that you see from her dad and her sister, the kind of the nature of like self-importance, you kind of get that. There's theories that that's something that's genetics.
No.
But it's interesting. Like the thing is interesting is just like the level of self-importance that she carries around. It's very not relatable.
Yeah.
So that's why people, I used to. I mean, I don't want to sound weird now, but I used to like her. I used to like her.
Who cares if anyone likes? I've started to think about that. Like, yeah, we all like them. Everyone liked, but you know what? Everyone's sick of them. And now the receipts are coming in. They're getting fired because they're not producing. That's why they're rushing out to the site of the Titan OceanGate submersible, and they're going to record a podcast in a last-ditch effort to win Spotify back. Hello, Bill Simmons. Okay, asshole. How about this? We're taking our own submersible down, and we're going to turn it off when we get down there, and then we're going to record our podcast from inside the bottom of the ocean.
No,
okay?
I think Meghan's going to send Harry in because she has to watch the kids.
Yeah, exactly.
She's not going to miss that hike for her life. So she's probably going to say that she has to stay because...
No, Harry, you can't stay at the bottom of the ocean for 96 hours. You can go for 28 hours, and that's it. You must immediately return back to the surface and fly to Montecito. It's little Archie's birthday.
Archie's birthday every day. No,
yeah, it's Archie's birthday again. No, we can't find a sitter. Of course not.
Oh my God. I mean, I don't want to make fun of those people, but I mean, Meghan Markle, yes. But
King Charles, by the way, has asked to be kept updated on what's going on with the missing Titanic. Now that's true.
Okay.
King Charles did. He asked to be updated. Because Hamish is a British billionaire, so
it's out of the interest of the Commonwealth and the British to know where rich people's money going.
Exactly. Listen, can you see if I was in his will?
Is Harvey Weinstein there too?
That would be great. This would be a good way to
what is it? What is the name? What is the name of the guy?
People down. Epstein?
Epstein. Harvey Weinstein.
This is Epstein's down there. Epstein has been living on the Titanic wreckage since 2019 when he faked his
knew
death.
it.
He opened up an island at the bottom of the Marianas Trench. King Charles III, Cocker Spaniel, has requested to be kept fully up to date regarding the submersible that went missing. A royal source said, and then Meghan said, we said that first. Okay, that's enough. We're gonna take a break, and hopefully we can come back if we can get the internet working. We're using Starlink, so listen, it's been interesting. I'm glad we ended this on kind of a positive note with some signs of life. Some really hot banging sounds were heard from the submersible, and
I think they have margaritas there today.
Yeah, that's right. It's Taco Tuesday. They're getting crazy. So we're going to continue to follow this. Hopefully we'll be back. If not, if we got to push the Meghan and Harry stuff to tomorrow, then so be it.
Stay in
they're
the
not
loop,
going
guys.
anywhere.
So that's why you should subscribe and turn on the notification bell for the videos in case we decide to go live tonight. You guys are going to still be on the loop or tomorrow. So subscribe.
Like, subscribe, share, comment. It's all right there. All right. Thank you.
Thank you guys. And it was
word.
good to be supporting each other here. Have a good life.
That's right. Now a word from our former president, currently battling
cancer.
Getting it from all sides.
Have a good life. We will see you soon.
Much love.
Thank you.
Love.
All right, Dante.
So once again, thank you to my brother. Tell him your name again.
Dante Greco.
2 words. Made in America. Dante, you're doing great.
That's good.
I never anybody over in my life.
It's from.
Listen, I want you to leave my good friend Ringo alone.
Yeah.
Pal, Hal.
Have a good day.